Oops.
Come on, puppy.
Sometimes being tall is a pain. If I was like my wife's height, I'd be like this tall, and you'd be able to see me with the camera a lot closer. May I help you? That's not very straight. Today, the topic is one that it's taken me a long time to learn. Hopefully it doesn't take any of you this long to learn, but it's the fact that I'm not a broken person. I'm not a bad person. And I always felt like not always, felt like once I started doing recovery work and trauma work to heal from trauma, I felt like I was someone who grew up in a broken home, and that because of that I was a broken person. And I felt like I was a broken person, not necessarily in those terms, but I felt like something was wrong with me for most of my life. It was really difficult to get to a point where I felt like I was not broken, that there wasn't a lot of things wrong with me. Yes, I have my issues. I have things that I want to work on about myself, but that doesn't mean that I'm broken. You know, kind of get a little bit more backstory on this. So a few weeks ago, I was in an appointment with my therapist, and like I just kept coming back to the point where it's like I feel like I just keep messing things up. You know, and it's taken a lot of sessions with my therapist to get to a point where I didn't feel like I was a piece of shit. You know, where I didn't feel like I was worthless. You know, because I always felt like there was something fundamentally wrong with me. You know, because why else would I do all these things that I don't like unless there was something wrong with me? In reality, the reason why I was doing those things was because I had emotions I didn't know how to process. I had trauma that hadn't been resolved. I had an addiction. I had a lot of things that was going on I didn't know how to handle. I didn't know how to process through. I didn't know how to work with. And so that caused a lot of tension, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety and depression, and acting out outside of my value system and all of these things. And that's why I was doing all of these things I didn't like. But when I would do these things that I didn't like, I felt more shitty about myself. And that just caused the cycle to keep repeating itself. So it took a long time to realize that I'm not a piece of shit and that I have value. I am a good person. It took a long time for me to realize that I am able to stand up for myself because I have worth. I shouldn't be treated certain ways. I shouldn't be spoken down to or called names. I deserve to be treated well and to be treated fairly, because when I would mess up and then I would be talked down to or told, made to feel like I was stupid or that everything was my fault, I ran with it because, yeah, I did something wrong. Why would I do something unless I was stupid, unless I was a piece of shit? But yeah, like I said a few weeks ago, it got to a point where my therapist was like, Logan, do you think you're a broken person? I was like, I wanted to say, no, I'm not broken, but a big part of me was like, yeah, I'm broken. I have all these issues. How could I not be broken? I told her that, like I told her I want to say no, but like I have all these things that are wrong with me. Why wouldn't? How could I say I'm not broken? And she's like, okay, well, think back to you as a teenager. Think back to you 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago. Would you tell that person, that version of you, that you're broken, that he's broken, that there's things fundamentally wrong with him? I said, no. Like, why would I tell that person who's going through all that stuff that he's broken? That doesn't make any sense. She's like, so what would you tell him? And I sat on that for a while, and I told her, well, I think I would tell him that he's scared, that he's confused, that he doesn't know what's going on really, and that's why he's doing all these things, because he's just trying to figure life out. He's trying to find safety, but he doesn't know where to go for it. But he's not broken. He's not a piece of shit. He has worth and he has value. She's like, so Logan, are you broken? I said, no, I'm not broken. I just have some hard things that I'm going through right now, and I'm not perfect, but I'm still trying. I'm still trying to move forward, and I'm still trying to be better, to learn more about myself and to improve, but I'm not broken. There might be times when I'm scared or confused, but I'm not broken. Obviously, she was very pleased with that answer. I am too, and I don't like to think of myself as broken anymore, because I don't want to be broken. You know, and having the viewpoint of I'm broken really made my life very difficult. Because if I'm broken, I can't change. If I'm broken, I can't be fixed. I'm just going to keep making mistakes and keep failing. If you change your viewpoint to, instead of saying I'm broken, to, hey, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do things, and I'm confused. I'm scared. I'm unsure of myself in this situation. I've never been in this situation before. Thinking about it that way gives you room to grow. It gives you space to improve. If you're broken, you can't be fixed. If you're broken, you can't move forward. You can't change. But I hope that you guys start thinking of yourselves as confused, unsure, scared, instead of being broken. Because you're not broken. Even if you grew up in a broken home, that doesn't mean you are broken. Even if you've struggled with an addiction for 40, 50 years, you're not broken. You're just confused. You're scared. But you are not broken. I hope that you guys can get to a point where you believe that about yourself, that you're not broken. It's hard. It's really hard. It's not easy. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable doing all this work. But the other side of it is having a belief of that you have value, believing that you have worth, believing that you can improve, that you can change, believing that you are special, that you are important, that you matter. That's why we work on ourselves. That's why we go through all this hard stuff of healing and trauma work and all of these things that are hard, all the therapy appointments, all of the hard conversations with other people and with ourselves. We go through all of that because the other side is beautiful. It's amazing, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So if this is your first time on the channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you think that you are not broken either, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. You guys are awesome, and keep working, keep changing, and keep trying to improve. Keep learning about yourselves. You guys have a good day.
Woo!
trip time.